Hi, my name is Void and I'm the lead programmer and founder of Interlock Studios, and today I'm going to be starting a series on how to learn Roblox Studio scripting from scratch. This will be from downloading Roblox Studio to making your first game. So, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is open up a web browser and go to roblox.com/create. I'll have a link for this in the description, and download it, and once that's done, open it. I'm going to open mine down here because I would have it downloaded. So once you've opened up Roblox Studio and logged into your account, you'll want to go up here in the top left and you'll see a button that says New. You want to click this and then click on the base plate. These are all presets and I don't really like any of them because they're very poorly coded and very old. So I recommend you open up the base plate and it will start to open up a new studio. So the first thing you want to do is go up here to View and make sure you have the Explorer and Properties open. I like to have my Properties tab over here so I can see my screen a bit better, and I also have the Properties tab quite big. And open up the output for your scripting. We don't need this in this episode, but it's always nice to just have open because sometimes Roblox scripts themselves actually error. Now, what you want to do is insert a part. Now, part is just about everything that you'll need when it comes down to building things. So, top left, if you click on the model tab, we can see all the things we can do with building. So we have selecting, which is selecting, you can drag these around and whatever you want with them. We have the move, which allows us to move our part left and right on certain axes. So this is y-axis, this is the z-axis, and this is x-axis, I believe. Yes, I'm correct. And then we have scale, which allows us to scale our part if we wanted to have like a floor or a wall if we wanted. And we also have our rotate, which allows us to rotate our part if we wanted to have like a floating cube. Now, if you want to hotkey these, it is shift and then the key, well, control. So it's like control 1, 2, 3, 4. In case you want to just quickly snap to them, I like to do that. Now we have collisions. Now collisions are very interesting. I don't actually use collisions most of the time. I recommend you turn this off, but it basically makes it so you can't like move parts into other parts, if you see here. I can't move it into this part here because it collides with it, but if I turn this off, I can go straight through it with no problem. I like to have this off unless we're trying to make a building and don't want any like weird collision-y things going on. Join surfaces makes a weld whenever you add a part, so you can see here there is a white outline. It's fairly hard to see, but there's like a white outline when I drag it into the floor. This, if you go to Explorer tab, creates a weld, which basically means that this, regardless if it's anchored or not, cannot be moved. Next part is our rotate and move. So if I have this on at one stud, this is a stud, they're marked in your grid. This is why I like the normal base plate. It moves a stud each time and it can't go any further than that. And if we turn this off, we have free movement and we can make it however nice we want. Now, the other thing is the rotate. So rotate is the amount of degrees. 7.5 is my personal preference because it gives us a nice snap. I can go to an entire turn, I can do a quarter turn. Really, it's your preference. 7.5 I quite like though. Obviously, 360 is a full turn, 180 is a half turn, 90 is a quarter turn, 45.5 is a eighth of a turn, I think. Now again, if we turn rotate off, we have free rotation of our cube, and if we turn this off, we can do whatever we want with it and go really precise. I like to have these on though, because I think it just makes everything look neater, but this is your personal opinion. All of these don't really matter other than color. So if we go here and set our color to like green and we add in a new part, it's going to be a green base. We have lock. If I click a part and lock it, I now can't select this part. I cannot click on it or anything. I can only use the Explorer. I should have unlocked it, but it didn't unlock it. That's brilliant. Let's just ignore what I'm doing here. I've just deleted the entire game. What am I doing? Okay. The other thing we have is our material manager. So this is very, very big. Let's just make this a bit easier to see here. So here we have all of our materials that we might want. I don't really mess around with these at all. I wouldn't, unless you like understand it. But yeah. Now anchoring is very interesting. So if I have a part here and I anchor it, you'll see if it's anchored because it'll have like a dark background. So if I anchor it and run my game, you do this by going to home, going here or clicking run or F8 on your keyboard. You'll see that it won't fall or anything. If I stop this, and then you can see if I select my part and unanchor it, and I run my game again, we will see that my part will fall and it has physics. So if I move it up, it will drop. If I move it over to here to like the edge, it will flop off the edge. Basically just gives your part actual real life physics, along with collisions. It's stuck in that. Okay. Lost scores. The next part of our model tab, we have union. Don't worry about any of these solid modeling. That's not important. These, no. Spawn kind of is. So here you can see we can add a spawn. I've still got my color on that. There we go. So we can add spawn. We've got effects. So these are quite interesting. So we could have like a fire effect. And we can see fire. We can change the color of fire. So we want like blue, a nice like light blue flame if we wanted that. And we could even do a secondary color, which is like the smoke. So we could have like black smoke. Makes it a bit invisible actually. But yeah, we can do that. And now the properties tab. So this covers most of the things we've done up here. So for example, we have our brick color, which is the color of your part. I can see I can go over these and I can select a part. If I wanted like ground, I could go with like, that's quite nice. And then we have car shadow. So if I bring this up a bit, you can see it has a shadow here. And if I disable this, it disables its shadow. Color is literally brick color, just so we can get more like precise color, so I can make mine a bit lighter if I wanted. We've also got the material, so if I wanted to go with a grass, I could scroll down and try and find the grass. Here it is, grass. So that makes it look a lot nicer. Then we've got our reflectance. Don't worry about that for now. Transparency checks the transparency of our part, so we could have it at 1, but makes it fully transparent, or whatever you really want, in case you wanted like invisible parts, people just couldn't get places. Then we've got, don't worry about data, don't worry about that. Size, don't worry. Size is obviously just the size of the part, so if I bring this up, we can see our size stat here changes. Quite nice, that looks very weird. Nice and simple. C-frame is just the position and the orientation. C-frame stands for coordinate frame. If we go a bit more, we can see the enabled. I don't actually know what that does at all. Oh, it's a spawn. I probably should be using a spawn part of this, should I? Okay, back to what we're doing. We have the can collide. So if I turn this off, my part is not anchored, as you can see. If I bring this up, if I run our game, this is just going to fall straight through the ground. There you go, gone. Can touch is if it's going to be touched by a player. Don't worry about can query. Collision group, don't worry about that. Don't worry about any of these. Anchored, obviously. Massless makes it so it doesn't actually have like any weight. Shape, so we can make it like a ball if we wanted, like a football game, or you could have a cylinder if you wanted like a pillar or anything for your game. If you wanted something like that, you could have a cylinder. And that's about that for that. That's actually Explorer. I haven't been over Explorer, have I? So workspace. This is just all of your everything basically. These are all your objects in our world. So if I add a part, we'll see that a new part will be added to our workspace here. We've got lighting, so if I delete everything in here, we'll see that our lighting goes really weird. Here you can change all your time of day, ambience, all of that stuff. So I can make it like nighttime if I wanted to. But the default time is 14:30, I believe. Yeah, there we go. We've got material service, don't worry about that. Replicated first, don't worry about that. Replicated storage is something you don't worry about actually. Server script service, where you add in your scripts. Server storage is where you put objects that you might want to duplicate or have them there just so that they're not visible, they're not actually in the game, but you might want to bring them in at certain points. Starter GUI is all your on-screen GUI, so like health bars in games and stuff like that. Starter pack is stuff you have when you join the game, so like any tools you might have, like a sword or a gun or something. Starter player actually has a drop down. We have starter character scripts and starter player scripts. Don't worry about those for now. Teams are, we can have teams, so we can say like we might have, so jailbreak for example, they have police, fugitives and prisoners. Sound service is just your sound, so you can hear things, you can play sounds, background music. Chat is where characters talk, where people talk. You have bubble chat and load default chat. Bubble chat is like the chats that appear above your head. That's toggleable. It used to not be. It was very annoying. You had to add like a custom script for it. Text chat service is like the same thing. It's just you can change like all the stuff with your chat and everything like that. But yeah, that is about everything that you need to get started. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to respond as many as I can. Or join our Discord, which I'll also have the link in the description for. Until I see you in the next one, which will probably be posted in like, I don't know, tomorrow or at some point. I hope you did enjoy, and I hope you found this video informative to some extent. I don't do YouTube, if I'm honest. I just thought it'd be nice to teach people and, well, you know, help people. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.